Welcome back to the Capital Compounder Show. Today we have a special guest. His name is Brent Willis, and Brent is the founder and CEO of Voyageur Pharmaceuticals. Brent, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
And so this conversation is definitely going to hit home for me because in February of 2017, not many people know about this, but I had a little medical incident. I didn't know what the heck was going on with me. I went into the hospital. The first procedure was an MRI. There's no conclusion from the MRI, so they sent me through a CT scan as a second diagnostic test. And it was discovered through the CT scan that I actually had a 99%, again, 99% occlusion of my left carotid artery. So it was, it was basically, close to Robin wasn't going to be on Earth situation. Pretty scary. I went on blood thinners, and the carotid artery did reocclude, did open again. So I really think that what you're doing, Brent, is so important, and you're sourcing the most sustainable ingredients for the MRI and CT scan. So thanks for what you're doing.
Well, thanks for having me on, and that's quite a story. Wow. And sounds like you caught it, and the scans did their job, and you're okay now. So that's what it's all about, right? It's we're a diagnostic imaging drug company. We source our own minerals, and we're building a vertically integrated company. So we're not relying on foreign supply chains, which is critical as we move forward here. So. And what radiology drugs do is they highlight your tissues inside your body so these scans can work more effectively, so they can distinguish between the bone and the tissue and tumors, and like your artery, they're able to identify the issue with your artery. So yep. It's very critical, and there's major supply issues going on right now and shortages in this market. So it's very important for North America to start focusing on domestic production, and we're the first company to do that here.
Yeah, and if you can tell us about those supply issues, but then first, what powers the MRI and CT scan machines? I think it's barium, iodine, and tell us how you're involved there.
Yeah, so our first product that we're going to market with is barium contrast, and what that's used for is in fluoroscopy, where they're using X-rays and CT scans, and it's all designed for the gastrointestinal tract. So from your throat onwards down to the anus and everything in between, and it's looking for obstructions, for different potential tumors and whatnot. So it's just we have powder products and liquid products. We have 5 Health Canada licensed products, and we're just about to move to market in that segment. And what drew us to that was the discovery of our Francis Creek project. So we started off as miners, and we a mineral exploration company. We discovered Francis Creek in 2017, and the reason we transitioned into pharmaceuticals is because when you look at a ton of barite, you generally sell it for about 300 tons into the oil field market. And when you put it in a bottle for pharmaceuticals, the added value goes up to $200,000 a ton. So wow. We transitioned into pharma around 2020, surrounded ourselves with experts, built teams, and we've been moving forward ever since.
So can you walk us through, Brent, that discovery process, of not really stumbling upon, because I'm sure there's many surveys conducted, but on that Francis Creek deposit. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so it's on surface. It's a vertical brecciated zone of dolomite and barium sulfate, and we went in 2017. We discovered it prior to 2017. My brother and I, who are the founders of the company, we invested several $1 million into the project prior to taking the company public and restructuring it to go public. And then in 2017, we went public. We continued drilling, and we proved up the resource of 120,000 tons. And it's not a huge resource in mining, but when you have something that's extremely valuable, where you can use it in the radiology drug business, all of a sudden that 120,000 tons becomes extremely valuable and very important. And it gives us a major advantage because once we get the Francis Creek project in production, we're looking at a tenfold decrease in our ingredient costs, which allows us to be highly competitive. And we're going up against a monopoly, basically, who control the barium contrast market and used to have their own mine. No longer that resource was depleted, so now they're using very expensive synthetic man-made barium sulfate.
And what is that monopoly that you're alluding to here?
Well, it's Bracco Imaging. I think they're now the second largest radiology drug company in the world. GE's number one, GE Healthcare. I believe Bayer Pharmaceuticals is number 3, and Gurbet is number 4. So all these companies, they manufacture iodine contrast, gadolinium contrast, and Bracco's the only one that's really all in on the barium contrast.
And your discovery, it was discovered in Canada, is that right? The deposit?
That's right. It's out near Radium, BC, in British Columbia. So, and it's right on the side of a road. So logistically wise, you get out of your truck.
Easy to transport out.
Oh yeah, very easy. So all we do is we go in and we scoop it out, we crush it, and then we're using air. We're going to be using air gravity jigs that are concentrated into a high-grade concentrate, put it in the back of a dump truck and ship it to our facility we're looking at constructing here next year to process it. And the processing's simple. We're just further gravity separating the product, and we're using acid wash to break the dolomite from the barium. And from there, we go 1 in 10 micron, and we make a final product that's pharmaceutical grade and can go into our formulations.
And when do you plan to commercialize the product and take it to market? Is it next year as well, or the year following?
Well, we're going to market here in the next 30 days. So our whole plan here has been to prove the economics, because when you're going up with one company that controls this market, it's hard to get the market data. And as a public company, we need to be able to prove our economics. So when you're looking at mining, you generally go build a pilot plant, prove your economics, then you get your funding for your large-scale mining project. With what we're doing, we're using a third-party manufacturer here in Calgary that can make our products. And we're moving forward with we're importing barium sulfate, so our costs are fairly high, but we're proving the economics, getting product out to market, and that's the most important factor for us, and establishing some market share. So
speaking about market share, I'm just curious how your discovery in Francis Creek translates to market share. Like how big a slice of the pie do you think you can capture, let's say, in the next 10 years?
Well, we're targeting around 25% to start. That's what we're designing our facility for. So just to give you an idea, 600 tons of barium sulfate finished product will generate about $120 million in revenue, and that represents about 25% of the market right now. So for us, don't visualize some big open pit mine. This is small, tiny little operation like a gravel pit, and is regulated as a quarry, not a mine. So it's very easy to move forward with. And we're only going out to the Francis Creek project over the course of a month or so, mine out enough product and stockpile it at our facility, and then we don't have to go back out and mine again for another 4 years. So it's very small. It's a very environmentally friendly project. Barite is not considered toxic. That's why you can swallow it and use it in pharmaceuticals. So we have a very low impact, environmentally friendly project.
And have you estimated what the lifespan is for that particular deposit? Before you have to discover the next Francis Creek.
For Voyager, we're estimating about 100 years. We could supply the entire market over the next 50 years. So we got a 50-year supply if we had 100% of the market share.
My goodness. Okay, that's phenomenal. And we talk about supplying the market, and you believe it could be upwards of 25%. Is this just the North American market, or are you looking internationally to supply?
We're looking globally. So the
Mm-hmm.
next steps here, so we have 5 Health Canada licensed products.
Mm-hmm.
So what the market has been waiting for is we developed our SmoothX product, the first one. It's for CT scans. And we were going forward as a generic company to compete against the big pharma company. And what happened was in 2023, the FDA informed us that the regulations changed from barium sulfate being a device, and it got re-regulated as a drug. So we scrapped moving forward as a generic company. We decided not to copy the formulations of the other company, and we decided just to make a brand new suite of better products. And we focused on that for over 18 months. We formulated new products, immense amount of testing, and so now we have new products that taste better, that we believe you can swallow them easily, and we just finished testing those products in patients just over a week ago. So we have scans being evaluated by our scientific advisory board. The scans all look very positive, and we're just waiting to do the final review and then go to market. And this review is just all about us having the confidence that all our products are performing well. It's not like a human trial or anything, because our products are already licensed, and we could sell tomorrow if we wanted to go to market quickly. But we're waiting. We have a scientific advisory board of the top radiologists in the world, and we want their opinion. That will go into reports and white papers as we move forward to really help with our marketing and sales.
Based on past cases, what would you place as the probability on the approval happening?
100%.
Okay.
We've already had the head of radiology at Canadian Diagnostics who did the scans for us. He's already gone through, and he's had nothing but positive comments on the scans. So we just want to follow our process that we created to ensure that every time we have a product being evaluated, that our scientific advisory board is involved, so that we can get the white papers completed that show the industry we have a high quality product.
That's really good to know. I'm really curious about where most of the barium deposits are located, and among the 4 or 5 entrenched competitors that you mentioned, where they're pulling barium out of the ground in the world.
Well, it's just the one company, and they're using synthetic. So it's an expensive chemical process to create a synthetic barium sulfate called barium precipitate. And the reason that what we have is so unique is that, so there's lots of barite out in the world. There's lots of deposits. I've literally been on hundreds of these deposits over the years. I have over 30 years of experience with barium sulfate mining exploration. And barite is associated with base metals. So when you're out looking for, a perfect example is all the big gold mines in Nevada. And upstrike from all the big gold mines are the big barite deposits that are being used for the oil field in the U.S. And when Mother Nature creates these deposits, things are coming out and they're precipitating at different temperatures and pressures. And barite is usually the last one to precipitate out. So it always has metals in it. It's got cadmium, mercury, arsenic, things like that. And it's toxic to use in pharmaceuticals. So what's so unique about Francis Creek is it has no metals in it, and it's extremely rare. There's only one other deposit we know about in China. The Chinese aren't allowed to export more than 5% of their product. So
especially now, right? Like there's the whole tariff war going on, and
yeah, it's
repercussions.
This is what we foresaw a lot of this geopolitical unrest coming down the pipeline here.
Yeah.
And our whole strategy is we need to create North American drugs in North America and stop being reliant on imports, because 100% of everything is imported for the radiology drug business. And there's major shortages, especially in iodine right now. And we can get into that if you like.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. And there's definitely a strong tailwind, as you said, right, for made in North America, made in Canada, sustainable sourcing of product that's not subject to, again, these different tariff wars and everything going on. Let's talk about iodine then. So, what's the future for the company there?
Well, we have a project in the U.S. where we're looking at extracting iodine from oil-filled brine water. And we're working with a technology company currently that will be able to make this an I2 crystal as a first stage. And how iodine is processed today, you have about 70% comes out of Chile, out of SQM's lithium mine. It's a byproduct, and that makes up about 70% of the pharmaceutical supply. It's used in industrial applications and all over the world as well. And the second largest is Japan. About 20% comes out of a natural gas field, and the rest is scattered around the world. And in the U.S., there's iodine production. It's all earmarked for industrial applications, not pharma. So what happens in this industry is you go put it through a very expensive process. You extract the iodine out of the brine water, and and then you turn it into what's called iodine flake. And iodine flake, it sells for about $75,000 a ton right now. You make the flake because you can safely transport it. So all the pharmaceutical companies buy the flake. Then they put it through another very expensive process to turn it back into the original compound that before they made it a flake. And that's another expensive process. So what we're doing in Voyager is we're vertically integrating the iodine drug space by extracting the I2, bypassing the whole flake process, and going straight into manufacturing pharmaceutical drugs. And we estimate that it can cut our costs approximately 50% compared to our competitors. And earth to bottle, that's our strategy, that's our slogan. From the earth to the bottle, vertically integrating, sourcing our own minerals to create lower cost pharmaceuticals for the North American market and the global markets.
Commercializing the Francis Creek project is going to happen soon. Do you have any committed orders yet from customers?
We have many customers that are waiting. So when we went back with the SmoothX product that we were moving forward with the FDA, the reason we did that is because that one product, we had a 2018 marketing study done on SmoothX, and it was a $188 million market in North America for that one product back in 2018. So we went forward with FDA on that prior to it being changed back to a drug. And then we went and we had Health Canada approval on that product. And we went to roll it out into Canada. But nobody would buy just the one product because they were afraid they would not get shipments of their other barium from the competitor, and so they wanted us to have a full suite of products before they transitioned to our products. Mm-hmm. And so we've completed that. We have our full suite of products now. Everyone we talk to is very keen on working with us. It allows them to give all the clinics that require barium contrast are kind of tied into that one company, and by switching to Voyager, now allows them choice to go buy their iodine drugs, for example, from a different supplier, maybe at a different price point, or their gadolinium products as well. So what we're doing is, as we move forward in this market, is we're giving consumers choice and lower prices and potentially higher performing products.
In December of just last year, 2024, you made public that you partnered with a very strategic company. Can you talk about that partnership and what it means?
Yeah, we signed an LOI. We're working on a partnership with a large multinational pharmaceutical company. So your large companies or GE, Bracco, Bayer, and Gerbe are the big players. So we're in discussions with several of them currently, and what we're looking for is a non-dilutive financing for the iodine project in the U.S. The big companies are very, very focused on the iodine, with barium coming in second in line for financing. But because of the major shortages in iodine, there's only one company that really has a secure supply, and that's GE. So these other companies are desperately trying to find the iodine. So iodine demand has gone through the roof. We got rising chronic disease. We have an aging population. But more importantly, we have more and more of these CT and MRI and fluoroscopy exams being done. There's more equipment rolling out to the market. There's growing economies throughout the world that are increasing their healthcare spending, and that relates to more scans being done. So the demand for contrast agents, GE Healthcare came out 2 years ago and said it would double by 2032, the market. So that means we have a $6 billion a year market globally that's going to double to $12 billion here by 2032. And that's significant growth. We're looking at over 7.5% growth rates, and that applies to all segments of the contrast market. So we're in the right time, right space. Contrast media is in a long-term bull market. Prices have doubled for iodine contrast in the last 2-3 years. So it's the perfect storm for Voyager to implement its plans to create vertically integrated company for North American supply chain security. So,
yep. And you're obviously aligned for the success of Voyageur Pharmaceuticals. I believe between you and your brother combined, you have just under 10% of shares in ownership. Tell us about your proudest moment, Brent, aside from the discovery, obviously, of the deposit. What's been your proudest moment so far running the company?
I don't know. I think it's building the team that we have. They're amazing. So it's the teamwork that we have going on in Voyager is incredible. It's so building the team, I think, is the biggest milestone for me personally. There's been a lot of challenges, so moving this company forward has just been, as an entrepreneur, every day there's a challenge. It's like a brick wall in front of you, and you got to have your sledgehammer, and you got to bust that down, and right behind that's another wall, and it's just continuous, nonstop. And it's been a long road to get to where we are, where we're finally moving forward to launch our products to market. That's going to be our real big milestone for us, and it's going to should have a significant impact on the valuation of our company. And our whole story is resonating with big pharma, so we know we're on track. We know we have the right plan. We know everything we're doing it just makes sense. So major milestones with a future partnership. I believe it's coming, and that's also going to be pretty incredible for our market cap and getting us up to a level. In longer term, we want to list on another exchange, probably in the U.S., and we're working towards that. And so everything is coming together for us. And but the team is what the biggest milestone is.
Yep.
Great team.
What would you say is something that, or maybe it's a set of different things that prospective investors maybe misunderstand, or they still undervalue the company, Voyageur Pharmaceuticals? Is there some misunderstanding still that
absolutely.
you find yourself clearing up? Yeah.
Let's just look at what's the valuation on 120,000 tons once we turn that into bankable reserves after we get our feasibility completed. If 120,000 tons and you're generating $200,000 a ton, the valuation of that deposit is going to be much higher than where we're at today. It's currently valued at $344 million net present value based on a preliminary economic assessment done by SGS Canada. So as we move forward, that valuation will get built into our company. And and the mining is simple. It's not what people think. It's, when people think mining, they think big pits and large equipment. And our capex at the actual mine site is only 3.7 million, and it's a gravel pit, and we'll just rent equipment. Yeah. We're not even going to go buy our equipment, just rent it. And it's so small and tiny, and very low impact. And our processing, we're only doing 1 to 2 tons an hour. This is a pilot plant level processing plant. So our capex on our facility is 17.5 million. That's depending if we build in Canada. If we go in the U.S. and build out, which we're analyzing right now, we'll have to add another potentially 20 million to that market cap, just because in Canada we have a facility identified, but we're analyzing everything with the Trump administration, and ultimately wherever the capital comes from to get this project launched is going to dictate where we set up. So we're analyzing both Canada and U.S. right now. And when we make that decision, it'll be very clear and easy decision to make, I believe, because it'll be based on the capital coming in.
That evaluation estimation of the deposit itself, was that in U.S. dollars or Canadian dollars?
That's Canadian dollars.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was done in it was published in 2020, 2021. I think.
Yeah. Going back to the biggest challenges, Brent. There's going to be some entrepreneurs here on the call, and maybe they're going through the process of wanting to discover their own mines and deposits and commercializing those. What tips and strategies and lessons would you share?
Well, if you're married, make sure you have a very strong, supportive wife, because you're going to go through years of no paychecks and financially struggling. Last year we didn't take a paycheck, nobody in the management team. And it's always number one, if you believe in what you're doing and you can see the path to economics and great valuations with what you're doing, you just got to keep going. We went through COVID. That almost killed us, right? So like it did with a lot of companies, but we struggled through and we made it through. And it's always a struggle, and trying to raise money, it's always difficult, and there's always different reasons for those challenges to raise the funds. So we've raised over 10 million since 2017. So it's if we could have gone and raised like most pharmaceutical companies, they go raise $20-30 million to get their projects going. So we've just been bootstrapping this whole project forward, trying to keep the dilution down, raising small funds here, small funds there, just $1 million, $1.5 million, and just getting those milestones hit, slowly moving forward. And number one, never give up, and always embrace the challenge and know you're going to get through it. It's carry a big hammer and just knock those walls down.
That's just great. Where can viewers follow the journey of Voyager? Is it on the website directly?
Yeah, we have our website and we have a YouTube channel, and we're out on social media too. So, but I would our YouTube channel has all our up-to-date interviews and things like that, and our website's the best source of information to understand exactly what we're doing. And we are, our ticker is Victor Mary on the TSX Venture. So, we're an excellent buy right now, and I think we're going to bring some great value to investors as we move forward here this year.
I'll be following the journey. I'll probably just be on the press release section of the website to track of those new breakthroughs, and especially the commercialization and how that will go, Brent. And I do wish you the best success for this year.
Yeah, thank you. Great interview. It was a pleasure to speak with you.
Have a great one. Talk soon.